Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our Winning Unity platform. Thank you so much for staying with us. I am your boy Matt, and I'm happy to see you here once again. Yeah, I have with me here Mr. Adeka, and he's here for an interview for the African Cup of Nation draws coming up today, which is 27th of January 2025 by 7 p.m. West African time. Mr. Adeka, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Matt.
Yeah, so I want to ask you some questions, if you don't mind, about the African Cup of Nation draws. So the first question I have for you today is that I want you to explain to me, what do you think about the pot 1, pot 2, pot 3, and pot 4 they did for the African Cup of Nation draws? Because according to what I understand, they did this pot 1, pot 2, pot 3 based on their FIFA ranking, based on their global FIFA ranking. And that is why Morocco came first in pot 1, followed by Senegal, followed by Egypt, followed by Algeria, followed by Nigeria, and followed by Cote d'Ivoire. So let us start from pot 1 now. Pot 1, we have Morocco, Senegal, Egypt, Algeria, Nigeria, and Cote d'Ivoire. Which country do you see as the strongest country?
Currently, without being biased, I think I have to give credit to the Nigerian team.
Okay.
But nevertheless, I cannot keep away Morocco because currently they're having fantastic group of players coming up. Their players are really hot in Europe. Also, maybe like teams like Cote d'Ivoire, because Cote d'Ivoire, they have very, very good midfield. Their midfield is very, very strong. And also, they are defending champion. Also, they have great players coming up like Ahmad. And I think I won't write them off as well. But nevertheless, in football, you cannot write any team off.
Okay. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Adeka. So you go with Nigerian team. Yes, okay, all right. So pot 2 now, we have Cameroon, Mali, Tunisia, South Africa, DR Congo, and Burkina Faso. Cameroon, Mali, Tunisia, South Africa, DR Congo, and Burkina Faso.
This group you just mentioned, they are very tough contenders because you could see somebody like Tunisia, DR Congo, South Africa, Cameroon. So I choose Cameroon as the favorite from that group coming up. But I still strongly, because from the last AFCON, we could not write off the South African team. Yeah. They have very good players, mostly coming from their league. They have a pattern of play that is very unique to them. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Adeka, thank you. So pot 3 now, we have Gabon, Angola, Zambia, Uganda, Equatorial Guinea, and Benin.
Zambia, Equatorial Guinea, Gambia, and Benin.
Angola. We have
in the last AFCON, yeah. Angola really, should I say they were the underrated team, but they really proved themselves going far as the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
So I think
even in the qualifiers,
yes, I've been doing fantastic. So I think, but I'll be going with Gabon and Congo.
Okay. All right. So Gabon and Congo. All right, so in the pot 4, which is the last pot, we have Mozambique, Comoros, Tanzania, Sudan, Zimbabwe, and Botswana.
This group, I just count them like the group of underdogs. So, but Sudan really did nice in the qualifiers. Yeah. So, but we have Comoros, all of them. I think they are going just there just to prove themselves. So, I won't be expecting much from them. But I think the group stage, that's what I'll be expecting from these people that I just called.
All right, thank you, Mr. Adeka. So, viewers, thank you so much. You've seen his own opinion about the best country in the pot 1, pot 2, pot 3, and pot 4. So, I'm going to mention the countries that are going to be involving themselves today in the African Cup of Nations draws. We have 24 countries that have qualified, as we all know. Starting from the Morocco, which is the host nation, they have 20 appearances in the African Cup of Nations. This is going to make it the 20th appearance in the African Cup of Nations, and they have won only once, which is since 1976. Very long time, since 1976. Where Burkina Faso have 14th appearance. This is their 14th appearance. They were runner-up in the African Cup of Nations 2013, which the Nigerian national team won, of course. Then the third is the Cameroon. They are having their 22nd appearance now. They have won in 1984, 1988, 2000, 2002, and 2017. That means Cameroon have 5 good African Cup of Nations trophies. Followed by Algeria, making their 21st appearance, winning twice, which is the 1990 and 2019. Yes, and the rest, which you are seeing on your screen, so we won't waste much of our time. But the highest winners of African Cup of Nations in this whole group is Egypt. having 7 good African Cup of Nations trophies. They've won it in 1957, 1959, 1986, 1998, 2006, 2008, and 2010. Very impressive.
Part of this Egyptian team was that they were winning most of these AFCON with homegrown players.
Exactly.
Players that you don't
you don't even know.
Yes, I'm just telling you, just like it was during the AFCON that you just see them. It just became like the veteran at one point, winning it back to back. But since then they lost their glory days. They lost their glory days.
So sad. Okay, Mr. Adeka. So I'm going to be asking you these last questions before we close for the day. I want you to tell me, in your own honest opinion, among these countries that I've mentioned, these 24 countries, which country do you feel will underperform the most out of all these countries?
Normally, as I said before, I think in the pot 4, they're just. Okay. I think they're the least country in Africa that are going for the AFCON. But when you're saying underperform, I think we're expecting teams from the powers of Africa, teams like Cameroon, Nigeria, Morocco, Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Egypt. But I think the country that won the Senegal, yes, I think the country that won the perform here should be.
Because pot 4 we have Mozambique, Comoros, Tanzania, Sudan, Zimbabwe, and Botswana. Mozambique, Comoros, Tanzania, Sudan.
Those teams they're actually underdogs, so they're just going there to make money for themselves. So let's if they will leave the group stage. But I think the country that's going to underperform here should be one of those top 4 countries. So I think I go with Egypt.
What?
I go with Egypt because the Egyptian teams they don't have the flair that they used to have those days again. The fear that their teams have for them and is no longer there.
It has disappeared. Okay, so you feel Egypt are going to underperform in this African Cup of Nations. Okay, all right. So I want you to tell me the most overhyped national team.
I think it's Nigeria. It's Nigeria, actually. They call them the giant of Africa, but at some point you see them struggling. Sometimes it's very hard for them to even find their form. Maybe it's going to be later on in the group stage. You see them waking up.
Already too late.
Yes, Nigeria is going to play a match and ask for prayers from the fans.
Okay, Mr. Adeka. Thank you very much. So, okay, most underrated national team.
Angola. They have been underrated, but they keep proving themselves that they are good.
Okay. All right. So, which country now has the best defense in these 24 nations?
It's Nigeria.
Wow, best defense.
Yes, you could imagine Nigerian defense. If I'm starting from the central defense, I'm going to call top defenders. So you're having teams like Trust Ekong, Calvin Bassey, Kenneth Omeruwa, Sam Ajayi, and if you take their right back and left back, they're having Bruno Nyomechu is in top 1 in Portuguese league. We have Olaina. You could imagine in Nottingham Forest, he's making a name for himself this season. And Samuel, who is in Fenerbahce in Turkey. So when you count these, if you look at all these defense, they're actually in form.
Yeah, thank you so much. So Nigeria has the best defense, according to Adeka. I don't know what you think. We'll just drop your opinion in the comment section. So the best midfield, country with the best midfield, please.
I give it to Cote d'Ivoire, the Ivorians. They have the best midfield.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can imagine Frank Kessie. Boy, hardly leaves that guy's leg. He controls the ball perfectly. We have Fofana also in that midfield. I think the combination of those two, that was why Nigeria lost that final to them. You can imagine when Nigeria scored that goal. From that moment, Nigeria struggled to hold possession of the game. The ball were mostly in the leg of either Fofana, Kessie, and Maxwell, who just retired.
All right, thank you very much. The country with the best midfield, according to Adeka, is Cote d'Ivoire. So we move lastly to the country with the best attack.
The country with the best attack. Country with the best attack in this AFCON.
Best attack.
Currently, if I'm judging by strikers' form now, that being biased, I go with Nigeria.
You don't even think about Morocco. Come on.
No. Why I don't think about the Morocco team is that Morocco team they like, you know, they are a team in Africa that play very good collective football. So I think with them it's different. Their style of play is different. But because they play collective, you can imagine defenders going to score, midfielders scoring. But when it comes to Nigeria, discover that sometimes our midfielders hardly score. We rely on our attack. We have Victor Osimhen, Victor Boniface, Moses Simon, Lukman Haruna, and Samuel Chukwueze. So you can't this group of attackers in Nigeria, you have to give credit to them.
You're All right, Mr. Adeka, thank you so much for your own opinion.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so like I said, the AFCON draws is today, 27th of January 2025 by 7 p.m. West African time. Please don't miss it and stay with us. Keep liking, keep commenting, keep sharing, and keep subscribing to our Winning Unity platform as we bring you the best football updates in Africa. Take care. I'll see you soon.